It's time for the Moto E second race of the day to get underway here at the TT Assen. Let's go straight over and join our commentary team.
I will do the best, and I will do my race, and I'm very happy, and stay calm and corner by corner.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Should just say, of course, Elliot York is our pit lane reporter in Moto. No wonder he looked a bit bamboozled down there on the grid speaking to Andrea Mantovani. Mantovani there saying he's got to stay cool and calm. It'll be the only time he's been cool and calm this weekend. He is a effervescent character.
He most certainly is, although he did sound very cool when he was speaking to Elliot just there. Problem with the front of the bike on the sighting lap, so we could have not ideal situations for the top two on the grid here. Cassidy starting from pole, Mantovani starting from second. That really could open things up to Jordi Torres early on in this race. He'll be starting from the inside of the front row in third position. And it really was a bit of a two-way fight at the front, wasn't it, between Cassidy and Mantovani in race one, Kiko? And well, one of them pretty much going to be out of the victory fight. You have to say Mantovani starts his favourite.
Jordi Torres in third place. Will be looking at this though and fancying his chances. He'll be aware of Cassidy's dramas already. Might not be aware of Mantovani's front end field problems. But Jordi Torres, 4 wins in a class. He's looking to make it 5, and he goes from that front run.
Yeah, just as we go on board then with Cassidy, looks as though there have been a few little running repairs from the LCR technicians there. You can see they're just checking everything with the front brake, with the throttle, to make sure it's okay. I think Cassidy is also trying to explain exactly what happened. Down to one of the IRTA officials.
The IRTA officials as well will be down there because they need to make sure that everything is under control. Nicola Spinelli, 4th place on this grid, and 5th place we have got Matteo Ferrari, and then it's Alessandro Zacconi. Can he come through? Well, Matteo Cassidy, he's going to have to come through a double long lap, a fall on his sighting lap. Will he be able to convert pole this time? So we are ready to get underway. Matteo Cassidy under a load of pressure because he, of course, is on a ticking sort of stopwatch in effect, because he needs to get that bike sorted out after pinning it on the sighting lap. If you are just joining us here, bit of early drama. Matteo Cassidy, your pole sitter, your previous championship leader, crashing on the sighting lap when he left pit lane. Will they be able to get that bike verified and okayed from IRTA to go racing here in Moto E? You're joining myself, Kiko Giles, Neil Morrison alongside me, Elliot York down in pit lane, bringing the stories as we wait to go racing here. No warm-up lap, of course, in Moto E. We are just about 2 minutes until we go lights out on this one.
Yeah, we most certainly are. I think it looks as though Cassidy should be okay to get going. This is Matteo Ferrari starting from the middle of the second row. Ferrari was 5th in race 1, and at certain points was as fast as anyone on track. If he can keep it clean in the early laps, he could be a fixture up front. I do like the look, though, of Alessandro Zacconi after his fight back from 8th up until 2nd in race 1. I think I'm going to go potentially with him as my tip for this race, but we're going to hear quickly from Elliot in pit lane. He's got a bit of an update on the pole sitter.
Yeah, I was just trying to watch the bike closely and see if there's any real damage. It didn't look like any damage, and you saw on your screens they were just fiddling with a few parts down on the right-hand side peg, the foot peg, and on the sort of front forks and throttle side of the bike. So nothing too damaged, I don't think, but obviously far from ideal for Cassidy.
Yeah, he was going to need to really get himself more than the the bike, I think, in a clear bit of headspace before we go out on this second race here for Moto E. He's going to need to stay calm, that is for sure. He really did bin race one, it's got to be said, and he's copped a bit of an unfortunate penalty for that one. Back on the third row, Eric Granado leads off that. Lorenzo Baldassari goes from the middle of it, and then it is Kevin Zanoni, the number 21. This rider's teammate, Geordie Torres, 81 further up the grid there in third place. As we look back right the way through the pack, Raffaele Fusco there on the back of this grid. We just got another glimpse of Mattia Casadei. You can see that the teams are filtering off now. We are less than a minute, less than 30 seconds really until we get this one underway. Neil, quickly, predictions.
It's a Coney for me. How about you?
Ooh, I feel a Mantovani double coming on, but as neutrals we don't have favourites, but we would like a fourth different winner of this season. We are ready then to go racing for the final time on Sprint Saturday here at Moto E. It's lights on and lights out. Casadei from pole gets a good start. He's going to need a good start, and he's going to need an advantage too. Down towards turn one, Mantovani second, Spinelli slots into third. Matteo Ferrari is trying to go around the outside there, but he comes through up into fifth place as they all filter through, and that looks like it is Alessandro Zacconi up there in fourth place. So at the moment everyone through safety now. Hold your breath again. This is where Casadei was caught out earlier. We've seen incidents here right the way through the day. Turn 5 at Struben, but I think we are all safely through this time around. Casadei leads, and he has got the hammer down straight away.
He certainly has a much better start for Alessandro Zacconi, who's already up into third, although make that fourth. Look, Nicolas Spinelli makes a brilliant move down into the Ruskin hook, fast right at the end of the Wien-Slang straight. So Zacconi demoted down to fourth, although he's back up into third. Nice early action here between the two Italian riders. You can see there Matteo Ferrari just behind him. Hector Garza has got a great jump from 10th on the grid. He's up to 6th.
I thought it was Garza who had come through as the first of the Dynavolt bikes. Oh, that's going to get tight. Spinelli trying to come through on Zacconi. Can't quite get it done. He almost cost himself there as well. Ferrari's trying to get on the act, and there he is, Hector Garza, your number one, who follows through just ahead of Geordie Torres, who's gone backwards from the front row, P3 to P7 already on that one.
Yeah, I was just about to say that Torres had a nightmare start. He really hasn't managed to capitalise on some of the chaos that was happening ahead on the grid with the two riders. Torres back down in 7th. It looks like a tall order for him already, but look at this stuff from Mattia Casadei. He's pulled out 1 second on his lap already, and there is Torres laying one on Hector Garza into the Gartimmer chicane. Garza has to sit it up, and Lorenzo Baldassari managed to come through.
Thread the Ardenino, Iron Boulder, Lorenzo Baldassari then coming on through, and just about got ahead of Hector Garza, and I think Garza lost another place as well to Zanoni. So Garza yo-yoing up and down on this opening lap. We heard straight marks. Who is it who's gone down? It's someone from that lead group. There was a bit of a gap further back, I think. Or was it Raffaele Fusco? It was. I thought it was someone in that lead group, but that might have been the incident over at the chicane with Garza that just split them all up. Well, Raffaele Fusco, that lasted long. Start of lap 2, he's down at turn 1.
Yeah, and Mattia Casadei has elected not to take his long lap penalty on this second lap. He's trying to build up as big a lead as is possible, which I think is pretty much the right tactic. You can see there, Matteo Ferrari putting a nice move on Nicolas Spinelli into the Ruskin hook right-hander to put him into 4th. So this is a good start for Ferrari.
Oh dear me, he'll get a 6:58 team. It goes from bad to worse because it's Oki who's gone down. But surely they did not take each other out. Oh dear me, that is a disaster. I think we actually have an incorrect graphic because one of them is still at the back of this shot. If you see, we look right at the back, I'm sure one of them is still going, but we'll pick that up later. It's rather irrelevant at the front of the field as we come through turn 11, and it's that short, sharp shoot down through turn 12, and that's it. You get a bit sideways coming through here, and Nicolas Spinelli was up in 3rd. He's back to 5th, and they're chasing Matteo Ferrari, who is really looking to get some major points on the board here in race 2, but he's going to have to deal with Nicolas Spinelli, who's coming through up the inside, gets the job done, forces Ferrari across the chicane, and Ferrari is not going to be happy about that, and he isn't very happy about it, but he holds that 4th. Now race action will be looking at that because it was not a very obvious incident where anyone was necessarily at fault there.
Yeah, you would have to say Ferrari's going to have to give them the penalty, or the position back, sorry, as we see Cassidy taking the first of his 2 long lap penalties. They reckon it's going to take about 3 seconds for him to complete the first penalty, and you can see he's lost 4 positions. He slots back in to 5th, just behind Nicola Spinelli.
He's got to be careful not to go on the green in that long lap. He almost binned it again. He was backing it right in through the long lap. So now Cassidy back to 5th. That puts Mantovani into the lead of this race.
Yeah, puts Mantovani in control, but you have to say Alessandro Zacconi looking very good. And look at this from Casadei, who's trying to make a pass on Spinelli. Brave stuff from the Italian. Just there, and here is the change in the lead.
Zacconi at the inside at Steckenval. Turn 8, good move on lap 3 of 7 there. So Zacconi has come through. Now Mantovani has another opponent to try and pick off. Talking of picking off, Casadei up to 4th. Has got ahead of Spinelli. He's got the magnets out for Matteo Ferrari now to get back into the podium positions. But I remind you, he has 1 long lap still to serve.
Yeah, and I'm sure Ferrari, well, is a penalty going to come his way? He cut across the chicane and didn't give the position back. It looked as though that was a bit of a shortcut that he took. We're going to have to keep our eyes peeled on our timing screens to see if there will be something coming the way of Ferrari.
He'll say he jumped before he was pushed there. Track limits warning for Spinelli. That's the number 29 who's just in front of Lorenzo Baldassarri. The 2 on your screen now as we drop into the GT chicane for the 4th time of asking. And there we go, sorry, the 3rd time of asking. It is Spinelli we're looking at right now with that track limits warning. But at the moment, I tell you what, Zacconi, fastest lap of the weekend, 39.599. That is very strong indeed. Looking back at our reigning world champion, this is Hector Garza in 8th place, trying to get ahead of Jordi Torres. That's for a top 7. Cassidy not taking his 2nd long lap penalty this time around. He'll probably want to clear Ferrari, and he really wants to do it quickly. He squeezed on through there and takes position for turn 5. So good stuff from Cassidy. Don't be surprised if he takes it next time around.
Yeah, really nice stuff from Cassidy coming through turn 4 there. Cut that super tight on the inside of Matteo Ferrari. Really nice move from the number 40. And he has a job in his hands to try and build up a bit of a gap, otherwise he'll be rejoining at the back of this fight for 3rd. And you have to say it is a big old fight. There's 7 bikes there from 3rd all the way back to Eric Granado in 9th.
Granado just picking up a track limits warning as well. So the number 51, the fluorescent number 51 Brazilian rider, down in 9th place at the moment, but he is on a track limits warning at the moment. He hasn't got too many opportunities to run out wide now at all before he's given a long lap penalty. Cassidy still with 1 long lap to serve. I remind you, he's at the head of this group. I reckon now if he takes the next time around, he will stay in this group, but he'll just go to the back of it, down in 9th.
Yeah, and then he'll have to really get his elbows out in the closing laps of this race. Great to see Hector Garza looking a lot more like his old self in this race. He was very muted in race 1, in 9th position from 10th on the grid. Didn't really see him make any aggressive moves, but at least he is in the thick of this fight for the podium right now.
Coming through the chicane then, we are at half race distance. This time around they clock off another lap. Zacconi leads another fastest lap of the race, just a few thousandths better. That time around Mantovani 2nd, Cassidy 3rd on the road, but he's got that long lap penalty to serve. That will put Ferrari, Spinelli, Garza, Baldassarri all up into the mix. There's also Jordi Torres, Cassidy in the long lap penalty loop. Now, where is he going to filter? Don't go on that white line or the green. Mattia, he comes back through. It is 9th. He's not in the back of the group though. He's got a bit of time to make up. It's getting tight between Spinelli and Ferrari. Spinelli back into the podium places in 3rd.
Yeah, and after all of this, Baldassarri is now up into 5th and really sensing a chance to get a first Moto E podium in this race. You can see he has 2 Italians just up ahead of him, and Baldassarri with the green flashes on his leathers there, looking very good in 5th place.
He's looking very good for 4th place up in turn 8. Couldn't quite get it done that time around. I love Lorenzo Baldassarri. He just, everything he gets on, he really absolutely rides the wheels off it. Whether it's successful or whether it's a bit further downfield, it's to be discovered. But this is by far the best we've seen of Lorenzo Baldassarri in his rookie campaign. On the other rookies, just out of shot, looking down at 13th place, Luca Bernardi. Then it's Tibor Eric Varga in 14th place, the Hungarian rider. But inside the top 10, Jacopo Hosjuk having a good ride, the Romanian rider, number 12, up in the top 10. But back at the front, Mantovani's not letting this one go just yet. It is Zacconi who leads, and at this point in time would be just 13 points away from the title lead as we look into the chicane at Lorenzo Baldassarri. Did he make it? We wait. Oh, well, Matteo Ferrari didn't, and that's the second time Matteo Ferrari has cut that chicane.
Yeah, it is, exactly. I'm not sure if he's allowed to do that, to be honest. I'm surprised that he hasn't been asked to drop a position already, Matteo Ferrari. But he did just take a bit of a shortcut across the chicane when Lorenzo Baldassarri was attempting to make a move by. So let's see what happens with regards to that. But Spinelli, that is giving him a couple of tenths on Ferrari. Look at this from Mantovani. It was 0.6 of a second Zaccone's lead a couple of laps ago, but Mantovani has managed to stabilise that, and he's now starting to reel his compatriot in.
He is piling the pressure on now. He did this in Cassidy earlier on today. If you haven't watched Moto E Race 1, please do check it out. It really was a good one. So keep an eye on Mantovani, your Race 1 winner, coming through turn 8. I tell you what, he's down to less than 3 tenths now, Neil. He's really piling on the coals on Alessandro Zaccone. Of course, there's a 10-point swing in this in the championship.
Yeah, there really is, and these are two names that will be featuring right towards the front of the championship after this race if things stay the way they are. All through race 1, Mantovani was so strong through these two right-handers, and then through Moivenmere, the really fast right-hander that slingshot you on to the back straight here at Assen. Just here, Mantovani was super strong. You have to imagine he's going to be getting into the slipstream of Zaccone as they piled towards Ruskenhoek, this long left-hander just before the GT chicane.
Through Ramsuk then for the penultimate time. The chicane awaits, but no move this time around for Andrea Mantovani. It's Alessandro Zaccone who will lead onto this final lap. Last lap time then, drama behind these two. P3 for Nicholas Spinelli on the road. He's just been given a long lap penalty for exceeding track limits. So it's all going up in Moto E right now. And as you can see at the back of this group as well, Cassidy has launched back on to the back of Eric Granado in 8th place. Spinelli's been alerted. He's taken his long lap now.
Yeah, he has indeed, and Cassidy may well be able to grab a few positions here with Eric Granado and Hector Garzo, two riders coming back from injury on this final lap. But we want to really look up ahead. The gap was 0.3 of a second between Zaccone and Mantovani across the line, and let's see if Mantovani can manage to get a little bit closer with the aid of the slipstream here.
Through Ruskenhoek then, this is turn 16, a lot of inside curve that time around. Andrea Mantovani is really laying it all on the line here to try and make it a double at the Dutch GP for Moto E through turn 8. They'll charge down the hill now, and Alessandro Zaccone looking good at this stage, but this is where Andrea Mantovani comes into his own.
Yep, it most certainly is. It's these fast rights after the bolt to turn 9 left-hander, these two right-handers here, turns 10 and 11. And then a fast right onto the back straight where Mantovani really comes into his own. You can see Zaccone fully committed through that long right-hander.
He was a lot neater that time around, Mantovani, than Zaccone up front. Okay then, here we go then, through 13. This is it, 14. I don't think Mantovani is quite close enough. We have got the last chicane to go here at Assen, but Mantovani, try as he might, is not going to overcome the 61. We have had Oscar Gutierrez, Mattia Cassidy, Andrea Mantovani, and now Alessandro Zaccone, your 4th winner of the season. And behind, Lorenzo Baldassarri, a super job, his first podium in Moto E in his rookie season. Matteo Ferrari, I think that was the 3rd time he's bounced across the chicane and not gone through it correctly. Jordi Torres 5th, Garzo on his comeback ride, the number 1, the reigning champion in 6th. Cassidy grabbing Granado on the last lap. Spinelli's long lap leaves in 9th, and Kevin Zannoni all the way down in 10th place. This is the final chicane, and yep, we were right.
Yep, you called that absolutely right, Kiko. And Ferrari tried to give it a good old fistful of throttle while he was coming across the chicane, but lost the rear end and lost out to Lorenzo Baldassarri. You have to say that's probably going to be the first of many podiums that we're going to see for the lanky Italian this year.
He was giving everyone else a fistful in that race for Matteo Ferrari, so I don't think him giving it a fistful on the exit of the chicane is a coincidence. Cassidy, well, he recovered then in the end up inside the top 7, but yeah, shout out of the day, I think, Lorenzo Baldassarri, great ride.
Yeah, really strong stuff. Really strong stuff from Cassidy. He was in the mid 1 minute 39s on that final lap. He was actually faster than the two lead riders, both Zaccone and Mantovani, and that was when he was in a bit of traffic overtaking Eric Granado on that last circuit just now. So you have to imagine, had it not been for that double long lap penalty, Cassidy certainly had the potential to come away with victory here, but as it was, Alessandro Zaccone winning the second race. He won the second race here 1 year ago as well. He does love this TT Circuit Assen, and he's propelled himself into the championship fight.
He really has, and that is a great old ride as well. Look, very good stuff from Lorenzo Baldassari. It's his first podium. El, who have you got for us down in pit lane?
Got Jürgen Ling, the team manager for the Dynavolt Intact Motor2E team. Jürgen, a debut podium for Lorenzo. Talk us through that race, how you guys viewed it, and how Lorenzo has adapted to Moto2E in your team.
Yeah, quite fast, as we can see. I mean, in the second event already, podium is super nice, and we saw already in Le Mans that it was not. He liked the bike, and he said he has to understand some small things, which he did, and finally he has the podium. But it's super fast how he adapts. So we are impressed. We know he's a good rider, but anyway, first you have to do it, and congrats to all the team.
Congrats to you, and go enjoy the podium.
Thank you.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. Thanks very much, Elliot. Thanks as well to Jürgen Ling, who's obviously having a great time this season in his Moto2 endeavours. Manny Gonzalez leading the championship there. It looks as though Lorenzo Baldassari is going to give him something to shout about in the Moto-E World Championship.
Don't forget David Munoz in Moto3 either, now a Grand Prix winner.
What a Moto-E race that was. Thank you everybody for joining us. Alessandro Zacconi is victorious. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.